The Financial Source top 10 highlights of Friday, sponsored by some large insurance company that we have
Yeah, which,
no
which
idea about.
insurance company?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
exactly. I
one,
don't
right?
know. Geico, the ones that aren't covering anything in LA, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
Um,
that's for sure. Oh, that's
so
sad.
in
Yeah.
in 10th place, we've got Giles and I went over this list just for some fun, but in 10th place, we've got Mohammed at number 10 with two micros on a straddle trade right before non-farm payroll. Not the way we trade. Straddle trades can be really tricky and interesting, but that one worked out for Mohammed. So we got two micros. What did you get? Like 40 points on that one, Mohammed? So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Because if you can get
Um,
if you can get the fills, straddles are fantastic. But
yeah.
it's the fills that kill, and it all
Yep.
comes down to your broker.
Yep. That's it. That's it.
No.
Number nine, we did both you and I actually get into ninth place for this, Giles, because
Oh,
we
very
did some
good.
scalping. We did some scalping on the NFP previous to the New York Open. So I made about 750 on that. And what'd you do on that? You did a couple
Yeah,
scalps.
let me check. So I was having a look at this, and that was on like a risk event account I was looking at here. Now that was for the Friday. Yeah, there we go. So just looking just after the event, that was $200, and then for the half an hour after the NFP, and just before, so everything before the New York Open here was about seven, eight, yeah, about 600, $700, something like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, about 700 plus dollars, which wasn't bad for the NFP. It was quite a good one with that big beat. We knew that was going to be negative for the E-mini and took advantage of that. And it was a good day. I mean, $2,000 for the whole day, which was
Yeah.
nice based on that same sentiment at trade. So that
Oh,
was a
good.
nice one. Yeah, glad I made number 9 on that. I'll be a bit disappointed if I didn't make somewhere in the list for that.
Number nine. Number eight, we've got Mark Anthony sitting on his hands after minute 48. Went back into the chat just to verify this. The chat transcript after minute 48, sitting on his hands, staying with a 15.5 gain and being patient. And that's got to be one of the hardest things to do, right? Because you see everyone else around you. They're making money, they're doing this, they're doing that. And you're like, I've got my 15 points. What should I do? Should I just stay put?
That was impressive because I remember Mark Anthony, we had that decent trade on the 5 minute. And that was a nice. I thought, oh, that must have. I remember asking, how did you manage? I thought that must have dragged Mark Anthony in, but he didn't. I thought, well done, you. You were able to stick to your guns and see that, that lovely cherry just in front of you and just
The,
ignore it.
well, he
So,
was there 2 hours later, and I was like, you're not done for the day. He's like constantly being tempted to get into the market. But
yeah, right, yeah. Best resistor of temptation was
yeah,
definitely Mark Anthony on that day.
my old self wouldn't have traded anymore.
Well done. When your new self has just had a big W, as they say,
Yeah, there we
against
go.
your old self.
There we go. In seventh place, we've got Mark Anthony, or sorry, we got Mohammed back on the board with an additional two prop challenges beaten. I couldn't actually find that back in the chat, so I think that happened on Friday. But if that happened on another day, then
I think
that's
it did. I think I remember. Yeah, Mohammed says
it
that's
was.
correct.
Okay, boom. So another two
Yeah.
challenges. That's fantastic. Number six, Devon gets on the board because he passed not only his prop, but now he's above the threshold for payouts. Devon, let us know if you get paid out. Make sure that's all smooth. It's in number six.
Yeah, that was very good. Very happy for Kamal for that. That's a great day.
Yeah.
Really.
And then number
Devon, sorry.
Devon. Then number five, you got to go with Raymond. He grabbed a 20-pointer after missing a lot of the action earlier on. He was hesitating around the University of Michigan sentiment release. Patient, played his game, banked 20 points on the E-mini. You remember that coming through the chat, Giles, where it was
Yeah,
like, no,
dude.
I haven't gotten anything. The market's fallen. I don't trade before the open. NFPs happen. The market's way down, right? Everyone else has grabbed something. He hasn't gotten anything for the day. What do you do?
Yeah.
Play your game, stay patient,
Yeah.
right? And there was more points to be had that day.
A lot more points. I mean, I think that was one of the biggest trades of the day, wasn't it? The 20 pointer. That was fantastic.
Yep, definitely. Number four, this is a Giles trade. University of Michigan sentiment dropped the market. And then we
Yeah.
had a nice reversal, right? And a bunch of buyers, if you can show this on the chart, Giles, a bunch of buyers tried to take
Yeah.
it higher. And I think this was the trade of the day. As soon as they got trapped, you jumped in. This was on the 1 minute. Normally we only trade the 5 or the 15, but you jumped in on the 1 minute short in line with the sort of the trend down, the sentiment down. And this is the one that I jumped
in. It was just around 3 o'clock. We got the University of Michigan print, didn't we?
Yep.
And you can see I took a spike on the actual data release.
Yep.
Put the spike lower. Didn't get a whole lot out of it. But then when we had the retracement back up to that level later on, and then we had it was this 1 minute the 1 minute guys getting trapped, wasn't it? Where was it? It was around 3 o'clock. It was just here it was.
That's it.
This is
right there. Those
just there, wasn't it? And we just knew, because hang on, with those breakout buys, we saw all that volume come in, didn't we?
Yep.
And we're just like, gosh, that everyone trying to take it higher, trapped. Yep. And then we went the other way, didn't we, down there? And that was entering in about 351. Let's have a look at that on the stat. And that, not today. I want to look at Friday.
Yeah, that's it, Mohammed. Yeah, it kind of broke the rules ish a little bit, because we're looking for 5 and 15 minute candle bars, but just in the moment, kind of recognizing that and saying, no, this is going to move lower.
Here it was, Paul. It was the 302 was the scalp, very small scalp. And then the 45, 53, 56.
Yep.
It was taking those there, and that was a sort of a good second half of the day, really, for me.
Yep. And that was it. Up at number 3, we've got 3 more to go. This is the one I pulled for number 3 from the chat. Anthony, a couple hours into the session, said, quote, "What do you guys think? I started my live account this Tuesday with 50K. Yeah, and now I'm up $1,216. How is that for the week?"
Yeah.
And it's, quote, "It's the most success I've ever had for, coming from FX." And I mean, you can't expect weeks like that every week. But that's a fantastic quote there, Anthony. Hopefully stay consistent, stay with the plan, trade trends, trade big news catalysts, and hopefully it goes that way every week for you.
Yeah. That was excellent. I remember that comment coming in and thinking to myself, yeah, that's pretty good for the week. Well done. You know what I mean? That's a
I was like, oh, it's
crack.
Better than me. Murphy's Law kicked in for me yesterday. So
it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair for you on Friday. I did feel for you. I thought everyone's getting sweets today, but Paul,
I actually took a trade later in that session and got back to break even on the day. So.
Oh, okay. So, that's not. You couldn't. Yeah, you weren't going to sit and have that happen.
No, I wasn't. But
yeah.
Number 2, Giles. This one goes to you. Preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment, recognizing the inflation component.
Yeah, so it's a little tiny nuance that people will miss, but some analysts, they prefer that 5-year inflation expectation because it gives them a good sense of how deep-rooted they think inflation is. So when that was coming in like 3.3% versus I think 3% expected, that was just, you knew markets were going to take a big hard stare at that, and that was one to act on. So that's why I jumped straight in,
And you're right. And what happened was we had the first catalyst at NFP, markets moving lower, and then it's hesitating. It's not really sure. The news comes out. And I remember, because my mind was somewhere else, I was like thinking about my accounts or something. And then you were like, no, wait, look at this little inflation component. This is going to drive it lower. And I was like, yeah, that's key. So nice work on that, Giles. Number 2.
You got to get some fruit for the labors of just pouring through analysis. They're the little ones that are worth it.
That's it. And in first place, who took first place on Friday? First place is Devone, mistakenly opening 8 contracts on his live account, but he grabbed 4 points anyway, right?
Yeah.
Taking the profit on the live account. Devone, hope you get paid out for that. You take first place in the Financial Source
top 10.
That's
there
it.
we go. Friday was a good day, wasn't it? There's a lot of good highlights there.